Today, we will be reviewing the step-by-step assembly for the OPTISPLINT by Digital Arches. Preparation for the case. Prior to your OPTISPLINT case, you must confirm that the patient does in fact have MUAs and from what implant system. This will allow you to order the correct OPTISPLINT kit. Currently, the OPTISPLINT can only be created on MUA abutments. It does not go direct to implant. If this is your first time using the OPTISPLINT, we recommend you order the OPTISPLINT starter kit, as seen in this picture, to set you up for your first case and future cases. The OPTISPLINT starter kit comes with a 6-unit single arch kit for your needed implant system, OptiWeld luting material, OptiWeld expression gun, frame clippers, scan plate, and retainer case for shipping of the OPTISPLINT to your partner lab, along with long screws that can be utilized to attach the OPTISPLINT to a master cast if needed. Step 1. Prior to assembling the OPTISPLINT, you must confirm the multi-unit abutments are placed and torqued into the implant according to the recommended implant systems protocol. Once MUAs are torqued down, it is time to move into the OPTISPLINT assembly. Step 2. OPTISPLINT setup. The OPTISPLINT scan bodies come in individual packets with corresponding OPTISPLINT scan body screws. To make assembly in the mouth easiest, it is recommended that prior to placing the OPTISPLINT scan body on the MUA, you insert the provided screws into the OPTISPLINT scan bodies. Note, these screws will be the same screws you utilize to place the OPTISPLINT MUA scan caps that you will see in future steps. Step 3. Alignment of the OPTISPLINT scan body wings. When placing the OPTISPLINT scan bodies on the MUA, it is important that you point the OPTISPLINT scan body wings towards one another, as they will create the foundation for luting the OPTISPLINT frame. You do not want the scan body wings touching, as they can affect whether the OPTISPLINT is seated completely, but ideally, you do want them facing one another. Please note though, there are some situations where you will need to assemble the OPTISPLINT toward the buccal. In these unique cases, try to get the wings as close to pointing to one another as possible, but they do not need to be as formatted as when assembling towards the palate or lingual sides. Step 4. Choosing the frame. Each OPTISPLINT single arch kit comes with 2 honeycomb frames, a large and a small. The frames are used as the bridge to connect the OPTISPLINT scan bodies to one another and provide structural strength. Prior to luting the frame to the OPTISPLINT scan body wings, it is important that you assess which frame will work best. There may be times that you need to use both frames. If you do need to section one of the frames to work around anatomy or create an extension to reach posterior implants, you may utilize the frame clippers that come with the starter kit. We get asked often if it matters if you use the frame concave or convex. It does not matter as long as you are able to reach all of the scan bodies. Again, the frames are used as support and connection to assemble the OPTISPLINT into one solid piece. Step 5. Luting of the OPTISPLINT with the OptiWeld. The OptiWeld is a dual curing composite that was chosen because it has 3% shrinkage, its strength, and its viscosity. Place the dispensing tip with the small attachment, as seen here, on the OptiWeld cartridge and load into the dispensing gun. The small tip attachment will allow you to express material down into the chimney of the OPTISPLINT, allowing the material to flow out and onto the assembly wing. Step 6. Securing the OPTISPLINT frame to the OPTISPLINT scan body wings. As mentioned in Step 5, flow OptiWeld down into the wing platform and into each chimney of the OPTISPLINT scan bodies to ensure material gets into the undercuts. Add OptiWeld to the side of the frame that will be sitting on the wings. When curing, start from the posterior forward. Cure one side initially with curing light so you don't have to continue to support the frame. Once you have secured one side, continue this step for the opposite side and each OPTISPLINT scan body position. Add more material as needed over the frame and wing area to ensure that the frame is locked into each OPTISPLINT scan body wing. Please note, it is important that you respect the integrity of the OPTISPLINT scan body itself, as shown here circled in purple. Do not get any luting material on the rounded sandblasted OPTISPLINT scan body, as this is what the iOS and the lab scanner needs to capture for alignment. Step 7. Removal of the OPTISPLINT. Once you have locked in each OPTISPLINT scan body to the frame, creating one solid piece, it is time for removal from the mouth. As you start to back out each screw from the individual OPTISPLINT scan bodies, make sure the scan bodies do feel like they are secured to the frame. If for some reason one of the scan bodies does not feel solidly connected, reattach the MUA and utilize more OptiWeld material to solidify. Step 8. Transitioning to scanning alignment protocol. This step and subsequent have a couple different levels, as it will depend on if you are in the temporary stage or temporary to final stage. Let's walk through each of these. First, if you are utilizing the OptiSplint for an immediate temporary or temporary to temporary transition, you will remove the OptiSplint from the mouth, place it on the scan plate as shown in this picture, and scan it extraorally with your iOS. If this is for stage 1 and immediate at time of surgery, you will then place the OptiSplint MUA scan caps, utilizing the screws that came with the OptiSplint scan bodies referenced earlier in this slide presentation, onto the MUA scan bodies as shown in the second photo below. Suture up around the MUA scan caps and take a scan intraorally, capturing the MUA scan caps, the tissue, and the fiducial marker, which in this case would be the arch tracer. If this is a stage 2, you will still place the MUA scan caps and take an iOS scan of the healed tissue. If this is for a transition of a temporary to a final, please note that you can scan the OptiSplint on the scan plate, but you will need to send the OptiSplint to your partner lab to be scanned on the lab scanner. You will then take your tissue scan with the MUAs. Step 9 builds upon the previous workflow slide as it pertains for the temporary to final creation. You will have received 2 packets of analog scan caps in your OptiSplint kit. 1 packet is for you and 1 is for your partner lab. If you have a temporary prosthesis and you are transitioning to another temporary or from the temporary to the final, you will take 1 packet of the analog scan caps and press individually into the bottom of the intaglio surface of the prosthesis, as seen in this picture, and then scan 360 with your iOS. The second set of analog scan caps should be sent along with the OptiSplint to your partner lab. They will then press into the OptiSplint and take a final scan on the lab scanner. This concludes the assembly instructions for the OptiSplint. If you follow these outlined steps, you will be set up for a successful digital full arch case with OptiSplint. Reminder, each component that comes with the OptiSplint single arch kit allows you to capture the proper records to share with your partner lab so they can create a passive fitting prosthesis predictably each and every time.